Okay, Landini is your fire team leader. Go ahead and form a wedge based off of him as if you're facing west.
Well, if I'm not in this wedge, there's a strong right wedge, strong left if robots, the MG, and Landini's. So let's go ahead and form into a Ranger file based off of Houdini facing west, not in your fire team. Sweet. A Ranger file is just a line. It's just a line behind your fire team leader.
So the biggest thing with the Ranger file is spacing.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest issue we run into. So obviously, I'll go up a bit. You want to have about the distance between like me and Paradise right now would be perfect, because it's maybe inside of a hand grenade range, but if a hand grenade lands near me, Slick's not getting hurt with it. Does that make sense? Maybe Paradise might get pelted with a little bit of shrapnel, but in the for video game's sake, he's going to be alright. I'm fucked. Everyone else is fine.
Right, and it's like weather and time dependent, right? So if it's fucking pitch black, raining, we're going to shorten the distance down a little bit, but that's up to your fire team leader. So just fall into the habit of creating spacing like Landini and Paradise have in the front here, so 5 to 10. So Slick, like you could probably back up a good few amount of steps. Robot adjust to him, vice versa, right? We can spread these Ranger piles out quite a bit, especially if we're walking down an open road, right? Okay, next would be a column. So go ahead and form into a staggered column for us, based off of Houdini. Boom. Exactly. Why would we run a staggered column? Usually if we're handrailing a road or just patrolling down a road in general, this is a good formation to have. Spread this out, keep sectors of fire. Speaking of sectors of fire, everyone in this kind of formation, and really every other formation, you just face out, right? Aim away from your buddies and follow your team leader's instructions on where he wants you set up. But a good fallback is to face out based on what side of the column you're on. So Paradise 307, right, more northwest. Behind him would be Turkey, so he's going to fall more to the north/northeast side. Back, right? Same with Jake. Rear security. So we're going to take a little run on me. Everybody fall into a staggered column behind him. Okay, short halt. Defensive positions, right? So, on a short halt call, everyone should just be taking a knee. It's usually used for a brief period of time. Team leaders often check their maps and call a short halt so they can see where they're at, right? Number one thing with the short halt is when we're stopped, everybody should be facing out, covering their sector of fire. If everybody faces out, it gives us the best chance to cover the most ground based on the formations that we're already running, right? Jake, being the last guy, would obviously cover our rear. Simple enough. Let's say we're going to hook a right here. What do you guys think is the best formation to use if we're going to be running through an open area? Wedge. Sick. I agree. I think think if you wedge it out and space out as much as possible, gives you the better chance for not dying, or not as many people will die, right? So let's go ahead and hook it right. Everybody pick up. We're going to move out west on me and a wedge. Giant wedge on me. Full stick, 280. Go ahead and shift 340 north back towards the birds there. Everybody fall into a line. Go ahead and pick up to my left. The dude's behind me. Great eyes, Jake. Go ahead and slow down. Turkey's fucking catching up. Okay, we're going to do react to contact now. So say we are moving in this column behind me. If we're all on a big fire team. Don't just fall into a staggered column behind me. There we go. If we're pushing out east, right, I'm going pretty slow here. And we start taking contact from the front. Contact, bang, 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 shots are fired, right? What do you think, what's your name? Jacob or the other guy, what do you guys think is the next necessary step? If we start taking contact, first you start shooting fucking back at him. You find cover and concealment, right? You return fire, you find cover, call out your 3Ds, right? Biggest thing is returning fire, find cover, and lay out your 3Ds. When you're returning fire, it's important to get on line with your buddies that are calling out that contact, correct? So what does getting in line mean is that Jake, you push up, get on line with the direction of the contact. So contact east 90, we got footmen 100 meters out. And they're shooting at us, so we're shooting back, right? We would just hold this fire till we establish fire superiority over the contact, right? So as soon as we know that we're shooting them more than they're shooting us, in general, right, we would push on with our assault. Well, we would assault the area that we were getting in contact from.
So whenever it comes to initially taking contact, first priority is obviously maintaining fire superiority and then maneuvering on the target if we are able to. If we are not able to, then it's falling back. Upon the initial attack, if we're going to maneuver, casualties are not your priority right then and there. Maneuvering on the target, taking them out. All casualties are a secondary type thing. Whenever you have eliminated the threat.
Agreed. Okay, so that kind of brings us into the next part of reacting to contact, which would lead into this answer too, is bounding, right? So buddy bounding. Bounding, right, is the idea of one element, one team covering while another moves, right? So you can do this singly with your buddies. So let's say, let me just get one guy up here with me. If it was just me in Paradise, right? If it was just me and him moving around, and we were bounding silently, then I could just hold this position, say Paradise, go ahead and move up. I got you covered. Then when he moves, you give me a set call when he's down. Roger, moving, and then we can move from there, right? And then I push past his position. Go ahead and come back, Paradise. Same idea within a fire team, right? So if me and Paradise are battle buddies, and then if I had 2 other guys up here with us, if we were strolling along, yeah, Slick and Robot's fine. So if we were rolling along, we were just, we saw something suspicious in front of us, like those 3 figures in front, but we're not taking contact, right? And we want to start silently bounding, and I would just say, hey, me and Paradise got you covered, go ahead and move up to the next box. Just be careful, right? So then you and your battle buddy would move simultaneously. Then when you're both set, you would give us a set call, right? And me and Paradise, Roger moving, and we're gonna move up. Upset.
Robot.
You guys could keep pushing.
And then you guys could keep pushing past, right? So that'd be silently bounding.
So I want your fire team, Slick, to just practice silently bounding forward using the cover provided here until you reach those 3 Ivans down there. And then go ahead and turn it back. When you guys turn back, I want you to turn back as if you're breaking contact.
Okay.
Are we all familiar with the idea of breaking contact and bounding when you're doing?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So is this live and are we throwing stuff?
I would recommend throwing smoke when you're breaking contact. That'd be sick. Up until you get contact, it's silent. And then once you see contact, I want you to break it immediately and not.
Hey, Jacob got you guys covered. Go ahead and bound.
Turkey, I'm on you. Whenever you're ready.
Alright, I'm moving.
So we're we're silent bounding.
Silent.
Set.
Alright.
Yeah, high low. Stay low, robot.
You guys set. Bounding. Set. Contact. Popping smoke. Alright, Slick and Turkey, bound back. Set. Set. Bounding. Okay, so all fire. All fire. Very good.
I think you guys grasp the idea of bounding and how to break contact bound, right? Do we have any questions with that?
Okay. We go over PZ posture and how we exit the MH60 here. So we all want to make our way over here to the bird. PZ posture. In this instance, if we're one big fire team, let's all load up in PZ posture behind myself. It's basically, if you don't know, it's a ranger file behind me. We all face out like we would in our staggered column. Just every other, right? One guy's facing left, one guy's facing right. Guy in the back's facing the rear. Guy in front's facing front. That's one dope PZ posture right there. That's it. When loading the bird, your squad leader usually is going to be escorting you through and assigning you numbers if necessary. So let's say that we have a helocast drop. We're going to be assigned numbers, and then our squad leader will tell us when we are supposed to jump and what our assigned numbers are. In this instance, if we're just a fire team loading in, your fire team leader would be doing the honors of letting you load into the bird, move in far left. You gotta move over and open seats as quick as possible. It's the biggest thing, right? So that's 1, 2, 3. 4. Myself 5 in. Right? Call all in. Bird picks up. We're on the move. Okay, so PZ posture is the biggest part of that. Just making sure that we are neat, covered in all sectors, loading into the bird. So now getting out of the bird, right? ARMA-isms it's gonna make you spit out on the side that you get into, I believe. It's not gonna let you get out based on the side you're looking at, right? So biggest thing when you exit the bird is once you get the all out call, so all out, we're all gonna get out, take 3 steps, and get down. It's called a 3-step drop. So everybody do that now.
All out, all out. Okay. Everybody hold that right where you're standing. Now here's the biggest thing with exiting the bird. Paradise here and Slick at one point had to cut in front of this gun. Now, if the gun's armed, they're gonna bitch and moan at you for that and say that they're gonna chop you in half if you do it again, right? So it's dangerous to cross the guns if it's armed. So we want to keep it as tight between the door opening here and the rear propeller is what Napalm is going to tell you, the head of SOAR. So if we were to unfuck ourselves, I know it spits you out like really damn near close in front of the gun, but if we're going to unfuck ourselves, yeah, you want to take 3 steps away from the bird and then be within this, the back of the door, rear better, but Jake, you'd want to be closer to probably around like here, base out. Just like as far away from the rear propeller and the front gun as possible.
Yeah,
what
so
SOAR's
they said don't go past this little box here.
Yeah, it's good.
For the flares. So
Do you have any questions on 3-step drop? Entering or PZ posture or the 3-step drop out of the MH60? Any questions at all? No, it's pretty simple stuff. Okay, everybody follow on the line behind me. Go ahead and follow me to the next vehicle.
I think Paradise crashed. I just like.
no, yeah, just lag.
Get into PZ posture behind me. We load up in PZ posture same way that we load up into the MH60 behind on the ramp. We'd get into PZ posture around here and load in. It varies, but usually we load in left first, back to front, right, or front to back. So we load in the farthest chair, back on the left, and then.
So if we all want to move in, team leader's going to be side, say, okay, go ahead and line up, get in. One at a time.
Yeah, so you can walk all the way to the front of the bird.
It would be from the cockpit to the rear. So start at the cockpit, start at the front of the bird, and move your way back, front to back. Like Paradise was saying, some people, sometimes they'll say, okay, load from the back to the front, and then you say here, go back, right? Which makes sense, because you're closer to the fucking
Listen to the dude with the flight helmet, and you'll be fine.
Exactly. Okay, so now, if I were to have us dismount this, what would you think would be the appropriate way to do that, right? We'd follow kind of the same instruction. If it's only one fire team, then we're going to 3-step out of the back, hit our stomachs, and pull 360, right? We're going to fan out and kind of the exact same way that we did on the M60, right? So if we all go ahead and get out, all out, 3 steps, and we're down. We're fanning out. Now we don't have any guns or really any rotors to worry about, right? So we can kind of fan this out a little more and cover more sectors of fire. So our guys at the edges of the fan can face outwards a little more outboard. So like Jake could be facing a little more northwest and vice versa. Yeah, like my guy in the gray has got it over there. Okay, we landed. It's a hot landing. We're taking fire from the direct north, okay? So what we're going to do here, we're going to establish our firing line, kind of like we did when we react to contact, right? We're all going to get in line and start returning fire, calling out our 3Ds when we get eyes on. So this is the combat dismount, if you will. So we're all out. We're all out. We're taking fire. We're taking fire from the north. Team lead's going to pull in front. Not necessarily so close, right? If we're one fire team, we're all going to be on the same side of the Chinook. You never really want to be inside of your fire team leader, and I'm probably too close to the Chinook as it is. But that's the idea, right? So we know we're taking fire, we're going to return fire and get online, just like we do when we react to contact.
So this is a striker, right? So let's go ahead and fall into PZ posture behind myself. Same idea. We could clean it up a little bit, but you understand that we get into PZ posture before loading a vehicle in order to cover all sectors of fire, and it creates a easier way for a team lead to get head count of his team. Make sure we're all up. So front to back, just like we're supposed to in the Chinook, right? Unless they tell you otherwise, the drivers, really the driver and gunner of this is going to be a ranger most of the time at this moment. So, but if they're in command of the vehicle, they're going to tell you where they want you to be. But to default, we're going to go front to rear. So same idea, all in. Go ahead and load striker.
Alright, Alpha's all in. Cool. One gameism, I guess, is just don't stand up ever in here unless the vehicle's completely stopped or it'll fuck you up. So we have our tactical dismount and our combat dismount that we went over in the Chinook, right? Same applies here. So first, I want us to dismount, and I just want us to get into our tactical dismount where we're fanning out and creating 360, 3 steps off, and on our bellies. We all following?
Yep. Yeah.
All right, all out. Okay, Alpha team's all in. We're strolling along, right? Okay, we reached our dismount point. All out. Yeah, let's get out. Oh shit, contact north, we're taking fire. Online, get online.
Alpha team, get online to left.
If the need to bail from a room or structure is present, it should occur as a controlled file, cross cover, things that we'll get to as we slowly slide backwards out of the contact area, right? So all too often people want to just sprint out of the room. Doesn't really work like that. Same way you go in, you want to come out. in order and controlled. So the things that we'll be doing next, as far as CQB today, all we're going to be doing, it's all going to be at the buddy pair level. So teams of 2, right? We're going to be going over wingmanning, the high-low, pieing and panning, doors and corners, little 2-man entry. We're going to focus only on deliberate entries today. And we're going to go over some hallway movements, and we will call it good, going over the wingman and high-low theory. So if I could get Paradise and Turkey to go ahead and demonstrate wingmanning on the wall for me. I want you guys to wingman down this left side of the wall first before we do anything with doors. So the idea of a wingman is that you have a lead guy, right? First guy in the stack. He's going to be taking care of your 12 o'clock, right? Front. Next guy over, he's going to be over his shoulder and or covering the rear. So let's assume you guys are starting on this flat wall. Turkey, don't worry about the corner right now. You guys are just moving south. I want you guys to wingman moving forward along this wall. Go ahead and begin. Just keep it at a really slow pace so we can talk through some things. One thing that's important.
It's a really short wall.
Yeah, it's a really short wall. Go ahead and take it to this next one. Sorry, guys.
Yep.
One thing that's important is spacing. Right when wingmanning with only 2 guys, you want to make sure that you guys are really close together. You want to be at his hip so that he doesn't even. I mean, IRL. I guess the idea is that so that he physically can't run into you, right? You want your barrel to the point where if he moves left, it's moving your barrel left. Guy in the rear is
the wall keeps going.
Yeah, that's fine. Guy behind the front man is covering everything to his left, right? Pretty much his 12 to 9 here. Holding his long while Paradise, the lead guy, is negotiating everything that's close to him in front and direct ahead. Okay. High-low in the corner, right? It's simple. If a guy in your stack, it's usually going to be your team lead or the guy in front that says, hey, I want you to high-low this corner, right? It's as simple as taking an E. Make sure you're being just very communicative with when you tell them you're standing up so you don't get shot in the head, right? Establishes quicker fire superiority, or guns downrange is always better. So now if they're going to go ahead and say you guys are taking this corner, so go ahead and move along, keep advancing around the corner and forward.
Standing up.
Next.
And then moving forward. Get another corner here. I'll high-low it. 3, 2, 1.
Very good.
Alright. I'm going to keep moving, standing up. Alright, do we want to move on to... I have a center-fed room.
You have a center-fed room. Okay. We got an open door to his left, right? Center-fed room. Do you guys know what that means, Jake and Slick? If not, it's okay. Center-fed room, yeah, means that it's being fed into the center. It's pretty self-explanatory. The door is opening with what you could call dead space to the right and left. So, center-fed room.
Center-fed, you can assume the doorway's in the center of the room and there's an open dead space to your left as well.
Yep, exactly. You can assume there's dead space both sides. As opposed to this next door, go ahead and bypass that door and come over here. This is a corner-fed room because it feeds into the corner of the wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have no known dead space to the right. See that? So you know everything being fed in through the self-explanatory. Okay, so how are we going to negotiate these things? For a 2-man room entry, a 2-man deliberate room entry, we can do 2 different ways. As you approach, well, let's go ahead and start off with pieing. So, as you approach, Turkey, go ahead. Actually, we can hold this door, that's fine. Go ahead and Paradise pie the door.
Alright, pieing.
Okay, Paradise, Turkey, go ahead and pie the door as well.
Dead space left.
Okay, boom, pause. So, biggest thing with pieing any door, right? We want to make sure not to stick our barrel through the door as we're doing it. A lot of people do that, think it's quicker. The whole idea is that, well, really we're getting eyes on the entire room, moving very controlled, right? And we're keeping them from knowing kind of when we're, you don't want your barrel sticking through the door to let them know that, hey, this is where I am, right? So when pieing, make sure you have good distance. But if speed is you're necessary, then you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Another way that you can assess the door is you can double pie it, right? So let's say Turkey, go ahead and split stack this. It just so happens that the way the room or the way that they approach the doors, they end up in a split stack, right? What can they do? They can double pie or split pie. You call it a bunch of things. They can double pan the door, right? So it's the idea that they both do a half moon through the door, right? Paradise would be keeping eyes on the left side of the room. Turkey keeping eyes on the right. They'd meet in the middle. Lead man would take, based off information, make a decision on where he's going, left or right. So
Yeah,
let's go
just
ahead and
gonna
move
go
it over
straight.
back to, let's start getting into the entries then. We know how to pie a door. We know how to double pan it. Okay. So, really, when you're deliberately entering a room, it's supposed to be with 2 people only. When you're deliberately entering a room, you can crisscross, or you can button hook. And you have 2 guys. It's ideal that one would pie the door first, so you end up in a split stack, right?
Yeah.
So if it's only 2, then Paradise is going to pie that door, and he's going to give a direction, being the front of the stack, being the team lead, right? He's going to tell his helper, Turkey, here where he's going to go. So after he pies, Paradise is then going to say,
Going in left.
going in and left. He's going to do that. Turkey will acknowledge and go opposite.
Yep.
Always opposite when you're entering, right? Once they're inside, everyone want to fall inside the room. They'll hit their corner, right? So once they went in and left, they're going to hit their corner, clear out any dead space on their side. Call it all clear. Right. Now, when you exit the room, it's equally important that you do the same process. Where you stack up from doesn't, right? It's fine. You don't want to cross the door as many times as possible. So, room's all clear. They're going to exit again. Okay. They know which direction they need to be going, which is to the east, right? Down the hallway, as you will. So Paradise will say, okay, we're ready to 2, whatever it is. 2 out,
So,
2 blue out,
2
going out left.
Yep. Going out left.
Turkey's going to cover his back, right? Cover his rear, and then go ahead and move on with the with his wingman. Buddy.
Yep.
Once he's cleared the backside.
One thing that's very important with all of this is when you're actually doing it in real time, you gotta be like right on the person in front of you. Right behind them. It's like as close as you can get. Your character will be glitching out a little bit, but it's okay. Just keep walking.
It's important to also do like countdowns, like, okay, you ready?
Yeah,
1, 2,
make
3.
sure everybody's ready to go. So.
Yep, exactly. Everyone moves at a different speed.
So we're gonna go over hallway clearing. Okay. So with hallways, right?
Ideally, if it's just the two of you,
You can always negotiate it the same way we always do, with one behind the other, or you guys split the hallway.
right. Ideally, it would be one fire team on one wall across your barrels here, and another fire team on another wall. In this case, you guys are one man on each wall.
Cross covering. So what does that mean? That means that Jake's got everything to your left, Slick, you got to everything to Jake's right. You're crossing this hallway together. You're gonna let each other know when you have any openings, when you have any doors, right? To halt the movement. As soon as one of you says something, you both better stop so you don't move in front of each other and swack each other, right? So.
Yep. Dead space right.
so-
Looks like a dead end hallway.
Yeah, dead space left. Could be dead end, might extend left.
Sick. So how would you negotiate this? Usually what we want to do is flip it. So if we're going to flip this T here, fire team leader, stack leader would just call, hey, let's flip this hallway on me. 3, 2, 1. And you guys would flip simultaneously and move on to your negotiated areas, right? Same idea. This is a hallway, right? This is a hallway and we're cross covering it. Go ahead and get set up like you're about to cross cover this hallway.
But it's
With just the two of you.
Oh, I
Cross
thought that
cover
was.
with him.
I thought that was the other one.
Like that. So if you're moving, Jacob, what would you say?
hallway left or hallway right.
Yeah, you'd be like, hold. You got an opening to your right. I'm gonna pie it. So staying on your wall, you can then pie that opening for him. I would stay here though. Because then, so the idea behind in the hallway is that, so if I'm here cross covering, let's say Jake's out of the picture, I say, hold, you got an opening right, I'm gonna pie it. I'm pieing across, I'm staying on my wall, all clear so that I could hold the remaining of the hallway while he can push past and get back online with, so then, no need to enter that area, right, if I can clear it and pie that whole short room. Short room right. Okay, Slick, go ahead and push past. Or just say short room right, clear. Go ahead and push. And we got this opening, right? And then we run into same idea where we want to flip and then keep on our objective, which in this case could be left or right. Does that make sense though? So instead of pieing and coming to the wall like we do on a deliberate entry, if this was a closed door that we didn't know what was behind it, yeah, for real. So if this was a closed door and we didn't know what was behind it, and you saw that, and your fire team leader said, okay, we're gonna, let's make deliberate entry on it, then you would, no need to pie a closed door. You would hit the wall, cross wherever your stack leader wants you, swing and make deliberate entry from there. Otherwise, if you're just clearing an open dead space like this, short room, no need to hit the wall. You can clear all of it by staying on your wall and hold long. That makes sense?
Watch out.
Sure.
No, I got it.
Cool. Okay, and we already went over flipping. So,
Do we have any questions as far as the basic?
CQB shit that we've gone over so far. Like I said, bottom of the barrel basic shit. There's actually CQB level 2 on Thursday, I think. So, if you can enter a room and go opposite as the guy in front of you,